Who are you?
I'm Ty Segall.
Ty, welcome to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Thank you very much.
Right off the bat, I have a gift for you. A Sodom LP.
Oh, yeah.
Some sodomization. What can tell the people about sodomization and the secret metal past, Goat Herder, of Ty Segall?
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we've dabbled with metal. My friends, Michael Cronin was in that band with me. We had a band, I think we played 3 shows. We tried to go, down the black metal path. Our singer spat blood, but we wore Hawaiian shirts. I don't know why. We were very young. It was fun.
And here we have some sodomization. Gatefold.
Gatefold, yeah.
What can you say about the Sodom?
Sodom? I mean, I love the band.
Sodom and Goat Herder.
Sodom and Goat Herder.
And Pentagram.
Pentagram, yes.
The secret metal past of
Ty Segall.
We have another gift for you right here. A Glamorama compilation.
Yes.
Now, if we turn it over, what do we see on the back? Right there on the very bottom?
Equals Diversion, yes.
When did you first hear the Diversion?
Well, my friend Bill Rowe, he runs this label, Trouble in Mind Records, and Michael did his first record on there. He actually played me this song because I've heard a lot of Equals, but this is a kind of a harder one to find. So I've actually never been able to find the single, but it's the first time I've ever seen it on vinyl.
Glamorama.
Yes.
These are the roots of Ty Segall, aren't they? These are the roots of Ty Segall.
Mummies, Headcoats, Gories. The Holy Trinity.
Actually, turn it over. Turn the mummies over and you have...
Supercharger. Yes. The other biblical component of the Holy Trinity. I'm not too well versed in all that stuff. Amazing.
What can you say about the roots of Ty Segall? Like the Mummies, the Headcoats, the Gories?
All my favorite bands when I was a young man kind of made me want to play guitar and put out records. Yeah, my good friend Larry runs this label, Larry Hardy. Yeah, man, just all the gateway drugs to everything I enjoy now, or a lot of it. Yeah, he's my god, Billy. Old Wild Bill.
Billy Childish.
Yes.
And I have another gift for you of somebody really, really important on Crypt.
Yes.
Their first LP. What can you say about the Oblivions and Ty Segall?
Well, actually, it's crazy because Eric Oblivion ended up putting out a lot of my early records with Zach Ives. They run Goner Records. But we got into the Oblivions through the Mummies and the Headcoats and the Gories. They're all part of the 90s garage, like third wave garage bands or whatever. So it's pretty insane to go from a huge fan to them putting out your records.
Now there also is the band Love This.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you found that one. Yeah, it's good.
With the arrow pointing down?
Yeah, we were young kids. Michael Cronin was in that band too. I gotta throw him under the bus too.
Yeah, Michael describes it as very Tom Waitsy.
Well, the thing is that Coleman, the singer, he had the very low voice, but we were more into like no wave, like ESG and Mars and James Chance and
The Dance.
Yes, The Dance. Great band, great song on that comp. I've never been able to find that record though.
You love playing the drums, don't you? Do you play drums in that band?
I did, yeah.
Love This?
Love This. The funny thing about Love This is we tried to bring our CD to the record store in town, and we were originally called Love. We were totally clueless, and we walk in and we give the CD to the guy, and he's like, there's a band called Love. So it was very, very embarrassing for us, but we changed it to the Love This for some reason with the arrow pointing down. Young men.
Going through the history of Ty Segall, what can tell the people about these records right here? The Epsilon.
High school bands. But the cool thing about these bands is that, all of the people that were involved, or we still all play music with, you know.
I was specifically wondering about this gentleman right here.
That guy.
Whose MySpace is that? Who doesn't have MySpace?
That came from his MySpace, and his name is Sean. I think he's a lawyer now. He's a good friend of ours in high school, and I think that came from his MySpace. But that's not his body. That's our friend Roland's body. Yeah.
And underneath, we have some more Epsilons.
Yes. Charles, Michael, Roland, me, Charles Mudhart, Michael Anderson. They're playing tonight in Charles's new band.
Now, your girlfriend, did her dad go to school with the Safaris?
Yes. He went to school in Glendora with the Safaris, and I guess they might not have surfed. I think kind of like the Beach Boys, they didn't surf. But yeah.
And you went to school with one of the Safari's sons?
He went to the school right next to us, but it's pretty much the same area. But yeah, I think his dad was the drummer of the Safaris.
Which is all you have to know about the Safaris.
Yeah, there you go.
Wipe out?
Wipe out, yeah.
Now, I want to take it to the Boulders. Be a caveman.
Well, actually, no. I had actually only heard this band, The Dwarves, do Be a Caveman before I heard the original.
By the Avengers.
The Avengers, yes. So, pretty embarrassing. I covered the song. I miscredited it to The Dwarves. And I found out later that it was the Avengers. Super embarrassing for myself.
On the Telephone Explosion from Canada record label.
Yes, Canadian label, Telephone Explosion. Yeah.
Who was the greeter?
Oh, wow. The greeter. Laguna Beach legend. So I think there's been maybe 3 now. There's a new one. But he just stood and waved people into the town. And the one I knew was the second one, and his name was 2. No one knew his real name. Supposedly his brother's name was 1, and they were twins. I'm not sure if there was one, if the first one was 1, and he had passed away, or if there was a whole nother generational gap of the first greeter, because it doesn't add up mathematically that they'd be the same age.
And he had a long white beard?
Yes, there's a statue of him in Laguna Beach on Main Street, and there's a new greeter now. He wears a sailor's hat and rides a bike and dances. He's a wild man.
You also have the song called The
Drag?
The Magazine. And we have right here Razor Cake.
Razor Cake.
And on the cover is
Total Control.
What can it say about Razor Cake and Total Control?
Razor Cake, LA-based magazine. Actually, Evan, the drummer of the Muggers, lives with a lot of the people that run this magazine. Emily, who I used to play with, she also did she did an interview with them. Great magazine, great people. Total Control, Australian band that I love them. They're great.
And she practiced, this is Emily, in Carole King's office?
I don't know, did she?
She used to practice and live there.
Oh, yes. She lived in, not Topanga Canyon, Laurel Canyon, in the back of Carole King's house, in the guest house when she was a kid. It's pretty crazy. She has a lot of stories like that. There's a lot of missed or 1 degree, 2 degrees of separation to stars. Yeah.
When you've looked back and seen quite a bit playing guitar, but you're a front man now.
Sketchy. It's scary. Yeah. Yeah. No more guitar. It's done. It's over. No more.
You are the front man. Who else is in the Muggers?
There's Corey Hansen and Evan Burrows. They're both in that band Wand. Michael Cronin plays bass. There's Emmett Kelly. His band's the Cairo Gang. And Kyle Thomas, also known as King Tough. And myself.
And this is pretty amazing. This flexi disc. What can you say about this flexi disc on Castle Face?
Yeah, my good friend John Dwyer from the OCs and the Coach Whips and Pink and Brown, Lots of great bands. And my friend Matt Jones, they run this label, and they put out my first record. But it's crazy because Matt Jones, I'm pretty sure he was the first guy to start doing flexi discs again. So he bought the patent, and not the patent, but the first machine that somebody bought in like 30 years. So we were the first people to do flexi discs in like 30 years. So they made this book.
And if we open it up, we see your contribution.
Yeah.
Wait, could you explain a bit about it?
Well, it's Michael and I, 2 Bowie covers because we love David Bowie.
Now, speaking of covers, I have another gift for you right here, and it is in this towel. It is of a gentleman that you cover.
Oh, Gigi. Sketchy Gigi. Bobblehead, awesome.
Throbblehead.
Throbblehead. This rules, thank you.
What can it say about Gigi Allen and your cover?
Gigi, well, I can appreciate a lot of Gigi Allen's music, but I really don't like a lot of it too, you know? But the Scumfucks are pretty great. And I like the Jabbers too. So I'm pretty sure Don't Talk to Me is a Jabbers song, which was his punk band before he completely lost his mind and started doing horrible things to everyone around him. But I mean, they're just good songs. And I can appreciate the insanity and I don't know. He did horrible things. He was a bad person. But I like that song a lot.
What can you say about the Traditional Fools Mushroom Adventure?
Oh yeah. Well, we've dabbled in psychedelics a few times, and we've taken psychedelics together, mushrooms, and Andrew and I have the bass player and I have done mushrooms a few times, and we did it for the first time. He did his first thing with me, his first trip with me, and Dave was trip sitting us. And there was a really traumatic thing that happened because this friend of ours, we ran into him in the park. We had a Frisbee. We were like, let's play Frisbee. We're on drugs, you know. It makes sense. So we started throwing the Frisbee around. This guy, I'll leave nameless, grabs the Frisbee, throws it, and it hits a 2-year-old baby in the head. And it was the most traumatic thing that could have ever happened. And I ran up and I said, I'm sorry. And to be honest, this friend of ours, he handled it in the worst way. And I don't really like him anymore.
Where is your Neil Young tattoo? Can you show us?
See it? Neil.
Now, you cover Neil, but I was thinking, I gotta give you another gift. Right here is a particular book, Young Neil.
Young Neil.
All about Neil Young's favorite era of the Squires, his first band.
Very cool. That rules. That's great.
Because you covered Neil Young later era, don't you?
Yeah. I love the early stuff. The surf band. Yeah, what
Aurora, backed with the Sultan.
Yeah. And they were, what city did they live in? Same city as that other band?
Winnipeg, the Guess Who?
Winnipeg, the Guess Who, yeah.
You know your Canadian rock.
I love the Guess Who, yeah.
What can you tell the people about this particular band right here, the Apostles?
Oh, whoa. Amazing band. They're an kind of anarcho band, but they're friends with Crass and all of those bands. They're amazing. They're like this psychedelic anarcho band. Their records rule. They're pretty weird and great. All right.
Winding up here with Ty
Segall.
Segall, you have a song called California
Hills?
California Hills.
Yes.
Now, speaking of California Hills, Laguna Beach, which members of Laguna Beach do you know aside from Kristen Cavallari?
Well, the ones that people would even know who they are, whatever. Talon Torriero, I knew him pretty well. Jason Waller, we used to get Taco Bell together when we were young men. Lauren Conrad, I was surprised she knew who I was. We've only had a couple words exchanged, but there's one, she might not remember me now, but we knew each other in high school. And most of those people, almost all of those people in the first 3 seasons of that show, I knew really well because my school was super small.
Thank you, Tyler.
Ty.
Tyler.
It's Ty.
No, Tyler from Year One Boards.
Tyler, he's here. Oh man, he's gonna be stoked. You know who he is. That's great.
He helped out with the La Luz recording, didn't he?
He did. Yes. Yeah, it was his surfboard shop that we recorded that record in.
Hey, Ty, give me some rice.
Some rice? Oh, okay. So the like weed rice stuff? I ate a bunch of weed rice and it ruined my week once. But everything's fine now. No, my roommate at the time was making a bunch of rice. You have all these, all my drug stories, which is very good. Was making a bunch of rice, and I didn't know she used weed butter to cook it. And I was very hungry. I didn't have any food. I was a young man with no money. She offered, "Do you want some of the rice?" I said, "Sure." She said, "You can have all of it." I said, "Great." I ate the whole thing. It's probably bowl this big, very large amount of this rice. And I had to do a project with a colleague of mine from college. He came over and I was losing my mind and I had to tell him to go home, and I took like a 4-hour shower and locked myself in my room. I didn't leave my room for a very long time. And weed rice is weird. It's weird stuff. It can be very bad for you. Yeah. I'm a lightweight. I'm a marijuana lightweight. I found out the hard way.
Lastly, Ty Segall, we have another gift for you. This is a Cramps button.
Yes.
It all comes back to the Cramps, doesn't it?
All comes back to the Cramps. Psychedelic Jungle. Yeah, the most raw, the best frontman of all time. Best guitarist of all time. Fantastic.
Best drummer of all time?
Drummer of all time, yeah. Everything. This opened my mind up to emotional simplicity in loud, rad rock and roll. Just like the Mummies and all this stuff, but this was the first band that I got into.
Well, thanks so much, Ty Segall. Keep on rocking in the free world and do-do-loo-do.
Thank you, Nardwuar.
Almost do-do-loo-do.
Oh, dude.